I'm about to go live here on YouTube just very quickly. I'm waiting on YouTube here. And 2, 1. All right. How about that Shiba Inu? The Shiba. The dog of choice, if you would, of 300%. But that's not what I want to talk about. It is on the screen. You see, this is an article from CoinDesk. US FDIC said to be studying the deposit insurance for stablecoins. So what this means is the federal government could be insuring the stablecoins that you deposit, say like BlockFi or Gemini or a lot of these exchanges, right? So it's the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, right? So in this article, it quotes their insider leaks from the FDIC. Apparently, every form or every part of government has leaks, right? It says 5 people familiar with the agency's thinking, right? That stablecoins would be eligible for FDIC coverage. Now, FDIC coverage is so when you deposit into a normal bank, your USD or your fiat currency, right? You understand that in that one account, $250,000. If the bank were to go under, bankrupt, be robbed, or whatever, your $250,000 up to $250,000 is still safe in that bank. Now, what a lot of high net worth individuals do, they just open several accounts, right? It could be at the same bank, it might be at multiple different banks, right? But that's kind of what they do to make sure that their cash is insured. And if you're high net worth, you're probably not keeping, you're keeping million, $2 million, $10 million liquid, but for the most part, everything else is in assets because of TINA. There is no other alternative to find alpha. So going back to this, so it depends on what's backing the stable coins, right? This is the FDIC's issue. Depends on what's backing the stable coins. If it's backed by reserves, the Federal Reserves for cash, then I think you just make an argument that it's a deposit. If it's backed by treasury bonds, I think you have a hard time treating it as a deposit. So currently right now, stable coins can be backed by a lot of things, right? Commercial paper, CDOs, bonds, right? So they would literally have to go to a one-to-one. I don't know how Circle or GUSD makes enough money in that scenario. I'm sure there's a way. They're far smarter than me, and they have a huge team. So somehow they'll make this work, because when you can get stable coins, if you can get stable coins and all these exchanges, now they are saying they may have to become banks. That's a big issue, but I think BlockFi and Gemini, or an offshoot of Gemini, might be able to make that happen. A lot of these even Coinbase may have their own bank at one point. In fact, I think Coinbase may have applied. So, and this is weeks before this even was reported. So with that being said, what I would say is this, right? If this comes to pass and the FDIC insures your stable coins, which is actually cryptocurrency, don't get me wrong, right? You're transferring USD fiat into a stable coin that's back $1 for one stable coin, right? Wherever that is, GUSD, USDC, there's Tether, that one's problematic, and we already know that. But here's the thing, if they can get this straight, can you imagine the adoption of stablecoins? One is because just the yield that you're getting on stablecoins right now, you're getting between even Coinbase, even though they hadn't come up with the product, is going to be between 3 and 5%. At BlockFi, you're getting 8%. At GUSD, you're getting about 6 to 8% as well, right? It all varies, right? Again, you would have to become a bank, but a lot of these big exchanges could have a subsidiary of that. And so as long as you moved it off the exchange and into their bank, you would be okay. So I think this is huge. It would drive adoption. of not just stable coins, it would drive adoption of cryptocurrencies. People would understand what a stable coin is. I cannot tell you how many people I talk to right now that don't even understand, can't even understand the concept of a stable coin. Well, why don't I just stay in USDC? Well, because there's yield behind it. Well, I don't understand why, what are they doing differently that the USD is not? If I went into USDC or GUSD. And of course, we all know it has to do with the liquidity pools, blah, 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 right? That's how they find higher yield than the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% that these large companies are paying out. So this would absolutely drive adoption. And the second thing is what a lot of the high net worth individuals do, and I promise you, they'll figure out a way, even at that same bank. So let's say it's BlockFi or Gemini or Coinbase. Not that I'm endorsing a lot of those or any of those. I would tell you that you could have multiple accounts there under 250. So let's just say that you had $1 million in stable coins, or because you had cashed out your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, at least a little bit of it, right? You want to go into USDC so you can move back into Bitcoin or Ethereum or Shiba, whatever, very quickly, right? Here's the thing. That's the reason that you would use the stable coins, but now it would be guaranteed. But the $1 million would be broken up into 4 different accounts. You might have to use different banks too, right? If you've got, let's say 3 to 30 million or whatever, right? 2 million plus, I would say. Probably gonna have to use multiple banks, multiple platforms, right? So I think that this is a huge movement, a huge rumor. Now, it's just a rumor right now. Clearly, this is going to take some time. But if they want to get this done, and I think that they do, because this is the number one, because Circle right now, which is the backer of USDC, is under investigation. And I think they're kind of figuring out this is good. We can track this, right? Not that they'll say that publicly, but at least they can track spending habits. Hopefully they can't hopefully there'll be a law in there that they can't tie it back to the individual. You would hope. But with that being said, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It would be bad, but not the worst thing if you can get FDIC insurance on your stablecoins. So with that being said, guys, I just want to jump on here and talk about that. Love it, love it, love it. We're talking about legit adoption of crypto now, right? Because when you say it's FDIC insured and I can get 7%, 6% yield, where are you going to find that at? Rent homes doesn't happen. Private deals, yeah, you could find alpha there. Stocks, maybe, but for the most part, they've been going sideways for 5-6 months now. At least the micro, the small, and the mid caps have, right? The only thing driving the S&P, and we've seen the S&P drop off real big, had been the mega caps. Your FANG stocks, your Apple, your Facebook, your Netflix, your Googles, right? That had been driving the S&P, and that's just it. Period. Large cap, a little bit of large caps too. So, with that being said, I hope to see you guys on YOLO Hour. It starts at 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That is where we chase rockets. We FOMO into stocks that are on rocket rides, that are going parabolic. Again, no research, no due diligence. It is, without going to Vegas, it is legalized gambling, but it's fun. And we only do it for pizza money, and it's not financial advice, and it's probably the worst way to trade. Just let you know. But it's becoming more and more popular, so we do it every day again at those times. With that being said, guys, watch your six, go hard in the paint. We'll see you this afternoon.